Hi there. I'm going to take you on a tour of the True Teens of History choice assignment. So in the introduction or also in Google Classroom, there's a choice board. You might already have done this. You click on one of the pictures, you click here, it says copy document, you click yes to make a copy, and then you're going to have something called copy of. Now I want you to go in, you might have already done this, but type your name. Let's say we have a name of a student, Juan Rios. True Teens of History. So it's important that you have both your name and the name of the slide, because that way I know who did it and what it is. So when you look at this slide, it's really teeny tiny, and that's because I used a lot of resources that were originally created to be printed on paper, which are 8.5 by 11. So that's the size of my slide deck. But never fear, you can zoom in. Most of you know how to do this, but just in case you don't, you go view, zoom, zoom in, and then you can use the scroll bar or your trackpad or a mouse if you have it. So this is the choice projects. Then there's a title slide. This is the name of the person, Camilla Tioli, the girl who spoke out for worker rights. You don't have to do anything there. I put a couple of tech tips in. I have a video on how to zoom in if you're confused about that. And just a reminder on how to paste a screenshot. Okay, so we have required tasks. Actually, I'm gonna zoom this out. Zoom, I'm gonna make it fit. I have required tasks, and then we have choice tasks. Now I have this kind of in this view so that you can see that on most slides, I have some instructions for the slides off to the right. So if you were zoomed in, you might not see it, but there's usually instructions here. So the required tasks, you should have done A and B already. Rename the slide deck and attach the document to the True Teens of History choice assignment. Okay, so make sure you do that. And then once you're in the assignment, you need to read the article, do a quick write, and do a work log. Now you'll notice it says click on the links to go to each assignment. So if I click here, it's going to take me to the reading task. So for reading, the reason I'm sending you to the Junior Scholastic website instead of just giving you the article is that they usually have 2 levels, and there's also a text-to-speech version, right? So log in with Clever. Say I'm a student and then log in with Clever, and then that will get you to the article on the Scholastic website. You're going to read the article. You're going to make a Flipgrid recording of yourself reading the article aloud. So you just get the article open, then click here, and you've done that before. You know, hit play on Flipgrid and then read the article. I like to hear you read aloud, and only Ms. Austin will hear it. Now, some people might have trouble accessing the website, and so for everybody, I also put a copy of the article. And this is always the easier version, and sometimes it's like crazy too easy. So, but if you want to look at this one, that's fine too. Whatever works for you. Okay, so back to this. So you have to read. That's a required task. And then you have to do the media quick write. On some slides like this one, I have put a video on the slide deck, and on some, I told you to go back into the Junior Scholastic website, because usually with the article, they have some videos. And then all you have to do is write 3 things you remember or questions you have about the topic. Okay, and then the other thing that's mandatory is the work log. Give a brief description of what you work on each day. If you miss class because of access or MCAS testing, note that. So for example, my period 2 kids who are in school are going to be taking access on, I think, Tuesday and Thursday. So if you're not in my class on that Tuesday, just type ACCESS, access, okay? Now, then there's a choice board, okay? So these choice tasks, usually there are 10 or 11 tasks, and you can click on the links to go to each assignment, or you can just scroll through the website. Like I have links to everything, but they're all like just slide after slide. So it's take the quiz, read the words to know vocabulary aloud in Flipgrid, right? If I click there, actually, let me go back to the quiz, sorry. The quiz is just dragging the check marks. It's not going to automatically tell you what the answers are. When I grade them, I'll give you the answer key and you can check them then. And then for words to know, Junior Scholastic does not know that it's really hard to learn 25 words all at once, but there's a list of words and I want you to pick 5 of them. And then the 5 of them, I want you to read aloud in Flipgrid, right? Read the word, read the definition. If you don't know how to pronounce the word, Google how to pronounce. Like, for example, if you don't know this word, militia, it looks like militia or something. If you're not sure how to pronounce it, type how to pronounce, MILITIA. It'll take you to a website, you click on it, and it'll tell you, you say militia, okay? So there's that vocabulary thing. Okay, then there's almost always analyzing a primary source. Now, I haven't been doing analyzing a primary source this year because they're a little bit harder, and I figured it was kind of hard to do with remote learning. But if this is something you want to do, this is a very good skill. And it says answer the questions in the text boxes beside the text. So I have this, they have the questions, and then the text boxes are off to the side. Now, if you're zoomed in, right, like you can zoom in pretty big so you can read it. And then like, here's question 1. You just go over here and answer question 1. You type the answer right there. So I hope that is somewhat easy for you to navigate. Put fit. When and where. So this is an option. Do an internet search for images of the location and time where this teen lived. Make a collage of these images to give a sense of what things looked like. So, for example, if they give you a date, like the 1920s, or for Camelatioli, you might put the year and then like women's fashions, or the year and cars, or you might say Lowell Mill, right? And then you might, get a map of where Lowell is. So I always, when I'm reading about a place or a time in the past, I like to go on the internet and get some pictures so I know what to imagine when I'm seeing it. So this is an option. Here's gather text evidence. So this is like text evidence, but then you don't have to write an essay. So that's kind of fun, right? So think of the teen from your reading. What challenges did this young person face? What were their motivations for acting bravely? And then you use this organizer to gather evidence from the text. So challenges are like problems they have, and motivations are like, why did they want to do this thing that was so brave? Okay. And then for like every topic in the world, there is a brain pop. So I have given you the suggestion for the brain pop that I think matches best with the topic. So here for this one, who is the mill girl, I have Industrial Revolution. So you log into Clever, log into Brain Pop, view the video. It says take the quiz and paste a screenshot. The Industrial Revolution one doesn't have a challenge, but a lot of them have a challenge. And I also had like a number 5 do challenge. So sometimes I have 2 choices that you could do for Brain Pop, either or. So this is just learning a bit more about this era, this topic, or maybe something that came a little before it, right? And then vocabulary also almost always has a topic that's related. So this girl was somebody who worked for workers' rights, and this vocabulary Labor Day is talking about that same era. So you could do vocabulary, and it's the same that we've done before. Now you click here to view the vocabulary cards, and you're going to it's going to ask you to log in, And you know how to do that. I'm already logged in. But once you're at the vocabulary cards, then you can also see the video, the vocab game, the read and response. So I always start you off with the vocab cards, right? And then here's another option. So there's the click the link in the title for another text on this topic. So I found another article that I thought was interesting connected to every topic. It's sort of like doing a research project, except instead of sending you off to Google and you find things that are like too hard or you just look on Wikipedia, I found something that I thought was connected. So this assignment, I want to go to Lowell, is actually, it takes place like before. So this article is about a time several generations before Camillo worked in the Lowell mill. So this is something about Lowell. Oh, there's a little problem there. I'll have to fix that. So read it and complete the 3, 2, 1. And then illustrated slide. Now, most of you are not going to want to do this, but if you are an artistic person and either with computers or with your hand and then take a picture of it, create an illustrated slide that shows something you learned. You can draw a manga, comic strip, diagram, or insert pictures and captions. Use your imagination. Okay? Sometimes for some of them at the end, there's a little map activity. Some of them have an activity in addition to the quiz where you sequence something. But no matter what you do, any slide that you're on, if you click return to choice board, you can go back and get a guideline, or you can just scroll in and out. So there is no way you could do all of these tasks in 5 days. You can do quite a few of them. So do as many as you can, skip the ones that sound terrible to you, do the ones that seem more interesting, and I hope that you learn quite a bit about a new topic, about a teen that's interesting, somebody that's brave, and along the way, you're getting multiple exposures to rich vocabulary, you're using your reading brain, you're using your writing brain. So I want you to know that I take this seriously. This is not just a blow-off project to do while we're doing access test. Do you know I spent like 12 hours creating this project because I had to make like 12 activities for 11 different choices. So I care about you. So I wanted to give you a lot of choices, and I have invested a significant amount of time setting this project up. I want you to work. I want you to learn. I want you to enjoy it if you can, but I definitely want you to work. Okay? Thank you.